Hi everyone, welcome back to Crochet Rocks, to another yarn quest. So I did my short when I was out shopping, and this is the little bit of yarn that I bought. So before I show you, I have my little till receipt handy to show you what I got and how much it cost. I haven't done one of these for a while. I've run out really of local yarn shops. I have to go a little bit further afield. There's probably some that I haven't found yet that I could do, and this one was in Ashford in Kent. Now I was visiting Ashford anyway. I went to see my son and daughter-in-law and the kids, so I was out shopping anyway, and we went to a place that used to be called Bybrook Barn. It's called, forgotten now, Long Acres now. But when it was Bybrook Barn, I used to drive past it a lot on my way to Ashford. And I always thought, one of these days I'll stop and I'll have a look in there, and I never did. So I don't know if yarn is a newer thing or if they've always done it. But it was one of those kind of places that's like a garden centre shop, as well as somewhere that has an aquatics area. And they kind of all encompass everything that you might, little knickknacks, all sorts of stuff. And they also do a bit of food and biscuit tea and stuff like that. So, yeah, while I was there, I bought a pair of sunglasses for the car that were only £7. I do like to keep a cheapy pair in the car because I quite often forget to take mine with me. I won't leave them in there. I had my car broken into a couple of times, so I won't leave them in there anymore. But I do like to have a pair in there just on those days when you get a bit caught out, it's sunny and it's in your eyes and you forgot them. So I do put those. So they're kind of really reasonable prices, I have to say. I won't call it Bybrook Barn because that's what it always was called, at Long Acres. Very, very reasonable prices across the board, really. I guess it's a bit like in the UK, if you're familiar with Dobbies. It's very similar in that respect to Dobbies, although Dobbies do tend to have like a restaurant and bigger, basically. But there's lots of those kind of shops around. But they have a yarn department. Now, it does look like a barn. In the short, you'll see it's got the kind of roof that looks like a barn. And they don't really do many types of yarn, I would say. The one that is predominant is King Cole. And as you know, as a shop, hobbyrocks.co.uk, I'm not phasing out King Cole altogether. I'm just reducing the amount of lines I've got, because when I first started, I bought a ridiculous amount of King Cole. They were my first supplier. But when I wanted to bring in new yarns and new supplies and everything else, they took up most of my space. So I've been reducing it down, and consequently I've not had any of their newer yarns myself. So I haven't placed an order until I've got quite a lot of space. So anyway, it was enabling me to see some yarns that I've not seen before, as well as some colours of yarns I have seen before that I haven't had, if you know what I mean. So that's what I tended to focus on. They did have some macrame yarn, or t-shirty, looked more like string, but it was, therefore makes me think it was macrame yarn, although it didn't say it on it. But I don't think that was King Cole, although I may be wrong. So the first one that I saw that caught my eye was this beautiful lilac yarn. It is gorgeous, and it has a glitz on it. You can see that. It's got that kind of, that translucent green one that it's very, very soft. You can't feel it there. This is the baby glitz. Now, I do have a tutorial on my channel where I've used the glitz, and it might even be baby glitz. It was a lacy scarf. It was one of my very first ever tutorials, and I loved that yarn, which is weird when you think about the fact that King Cole were my first supplier, and I really didn't buy much of this because I wanted to try the yarns, I guess. But and I thought maybe I'd get it later on, but I did order way too much way too many times as well. So yeah, this is beautiful, and I love this. It's got a sheen to the yarn itself, and then that glitz just takes it kind of, it looks almost metallic, doesn't it? It's really, really pretty. And where's my neckline? I don't know. Didn't put it on, did I? Okay, so for 100 grams you get, where are you? It is 317 yards, 290 meters, and it's 97% premium acrylic and 3% polyester. It is called Lilac, this colour, so I was quite spot on with my naming. But it is lovely, and because of that scarf I made, I thought this would look nice as a scarf. So I bought 2 because that's roughly how many it took to make it. So I'm going to put it back in the actual bag for now before I put it away, because it is lovely colours. Keep that there. Oop, nearly dropped it. So then I spotted another colour that I had to have. And that was this blue. As you all know, I am a real sucker for blue. Oh, you know what I'm going to say now, guys? Yarn boobies. I'm a sucker for blue, but I've got 3 of these. Because I thought, actually, I shouldn't really have put that away, should I? We'll keep one out for a moment. I thought, you know, if I wanted to make anything substantial, there's quite a lot of yardage in this. So, you know, I liked it. I loved the blue. It was super, super beautiful. Now, normally I don't like yarn that has a silver glitz to it. I think when it's got the same colour as the yarn, it looks so much nicer. Or if it's got that one of the greeny translucent. But this one has silver glitz, and it works so well with the blue. It's a silvery colour. You can, there you go. Can you see it? The silver. It just kind of has this overall look of shimmering blue. It works with that one. Sometimes it doesn't, but with this one it does. It is absolutely gorgeous. I really, really love it. This one is called Ocean. Same doodad as the other one. So I thought I'd get some white, because if you put those two together, they are gorgeous. And if I wanted to make something like a blanket or something substantial with them, a top, those colours would all go so well together. So I thought, yeah, I'll get a couple of whites, and I can always add to them. Now the white has that greeny kind of translucent, there you go, you can just about see that as well, and it is called Diamond White. So I got a couple of Diamond White to go with those. So I've got 3 of the blue, 2 of the lilac, and 2 white, but I can always go back and get more if I want it. I could always order it from a supplier, but you know, you have to order a certain amount of yarn. So I would just end up with a huge Kinko order again, and that would defeat the object of me trying to kind of make some space in the yarn room. Another thing that I got, and I had to have it, was this. Isn't it just gorgeous? This is, oh, I didn't tell you how much they were, did I? I filmed this video. This is my 4th attempt. And the other videos, I was so on the ball. So on the ball. But, you know, they were no more. They didn't work. So Baby Glitz was £3.49. £3.49. That's pretty decent, I think, in price compared to sort of places I've been to. And even places that are supposed to be cheap for yarn, that's been £4 something. Do you remember the gold? I bought gold glitz in one of the shops, which was $4.99, I think. So that is actually a pretty decent price. Now this pom-pom was $1.99, and it's secured by a ribbon. You know, sometimes they're secured by a little elastic. You pop it through your hat, and you put a button on the inside, and you can button it to it and it stays in. Well, this one you just tie up as a bow on the inside. When you want to wash your hat, you take it off and you've got your bow to put it back. I think that's a pretty good idea. I like that idea. You can do the same with yarn if you really want to, if you make your own pom-pom. But I love this colour. All of the colours in there are so, so pretty. And yes, I just had to get that one. They had some lovely pom-poms in there, actually. They had some really plush ones that weren't such long fur as that one, but they were more uniform as well, so they were really attractive. But I didn't get them because I have a box of pom-poms that I haven't used. So yeah, $1.99 is pretty decent price for it though. So then this one I'd not seen before. I think I've seen it on their site because I do check it out occasionally, although I haven't placed an order for a while. And that is called Little Treasures. It is very, very soft. It's baby yarn, obviously, or child yarn. But the colours on this are interesting. And the way they've done the dye is interesting. Because as you can see, there's those little spots of colour. And then there's these long parts. And that gives this overall effect. So I quite like that. That's interesting. I must admit, I like this yarn a lot. I wasn't enamoured of all the colours, so I just picked 1, 2 of these, because if it's baby yarn, it doesn't take a lot of yarn to make anything for a baby, does it? So I didn't buy much. Also, this yarn that I purchased, it's yarn that I thought, yes, I might use that. But the yarn that I get from all of my yarn quests, I do quite often put it in as giveaways, or you might recently remember I bought some gift bags for either Valentine's Day, Mother's Day, birthdays, and they were kind of pretty coloured ones. Now I did have a bit of teething trouble putting them on my store, but they're on there now. They're listed on there. There's no more problem. They're in stock and everything's fine. So I tend to put some of those yarns in those mystery boxes, mystery bags, and maybe the odd giveaway if I don't use it. Or sometimes I just list it and sell it in the shop. But, you know, I would probably use these. All of the colours that I get are the ones that I think I buy them with an intention of maybe using. Anyway, or sometimes if I, you know, want to give someone some yarn as they've placed an order, sometimes I put freebies in, and that's another thing I kind of use them for. So anyway, this is a Little Treasures. It's a DK weight. They're both DK weights that I've shown you so far, and they are quite thin, I would say. They look okay, don't they? They're very consistent in their sizing of their yarn, so there's no difference. But I would say they are on the thinner side of DK, whereas some yarns are much thicker for a DK. I wish they were uniform, but they're not. Even some brands, they differ within, you know, even their balls, you know, if the same, that sounds bad, but you know what I mean. You can have, say this, in, you could pick it up and then another one, it'll look like a little thicker. It'll feel slightly rougher. It just seems to me that these are quite even in their texture and their size. So have I made this upside down? Yes, I have. It wouldn't be me, would it, if it wasn't? This is called Jewel. I really like that. It's beautiful. That's the colour of it, Jewel. As in, not I challenge you to one, but the one that glitters. So this is 60% anti-pilling acrylic, 40% polyamide. There's 349 yards or 320 meters. You can machine wash this to 40 degrees. You can even tumble dry it. So that's not bad. A lot of premium acrylics, you can't put anywhere near your tumble dryer. Didn't tell you on this one, did I? Let's go back. See what I mean? The other videos that were no good, they were perfect. No. 40 degree wash this one, and you can tumble dry it, and you can dry clean it. There's your symbols. You probably understand those symbols way better than me. I've never been one for that. Okay, so Little Treasures then. Let's have a look. How much are you? I didn't need to turn that off at all, did I? Little Treasures is $3.49. Well, same price. Do you think their pricing gun was stuck or something? Maybe. So then I chose this. This is totally different, and this is called Bramble. I've had this out a little while. I have seen it. This colour is called Raspberry, which there is a lot of raspberry in it, but it's not exclusively raspberry. You've got oranges, you've got blues, you've got all kinds of colours coming through there. Like a little beige there. It is pretty interesting. So let me tell you about Bramble, and it is slightly rougher than the others. You could still wear this without any problem, and it would probably wash. There's probably an awful lot of residue in the dye there that, you know, is making it feel that way. So raspberry is the shade, 100-gram ball. It's a double knitting. That's what it kind of looks like swatched up. I really like that. That's a good striping. You get quite a big chunk of colour. I like that. Okay, it is 317 yards, 390 metres, and 100% premium acrylic. Sorry, nearly forgot, 30-degree wash, and you can dry clean. But that's all you can do on that. So this is raspberry, and I also got another ball to show you all the other colours in raspberry, because, you know, there is rather a lot. Now, these are the same dye lot and the same colour, but as you can see, this part shows totally different sort of colours. You've got all those real ultraviolets and up to magentas and lilacs in there, as well as these blues. Now, I love that. It's not really marble as such. I think marbled yarn is when you've got twists of colour, but this is just kind of broken, like a tie-dye type of effect in the dye, which was really all the rage in soft furnishings back in the 90s. But I really like it. I like the way it kind of, it's a distressed look, you know what I mean? It's a distressed decor technique, but I like it, and that's bramble. So it gives me an idea of things that I might want to stock when I start buying from them again. Let's see how much bramble was. Do you want to guess how much bramble was? Bramble. Where are you, Bramble? Guess how much that was? $3.49. Yeah, it was. It's $3.49. Can you believe it? Everything I picked up so far has been £3.49. So then I chose this, which is a super chunky. It's a DK, isn't it? This country is very, very heavily weighted on DK yarns. It really is. You go anywhere and the predominant, yeah, DK. It says so on the front. So yeah, the thing that is the most prevalent will be DK. And then you get chunky and super chunky. I wish we had more interesting yarn in Aran's in the shops, but you don't. You can get it online now. I do have a lot of Aran yarn in my shop because I wanted to make up for that. That it's not really readily everywhere. But super chunky is a bulky 6. And this is not the fattest, as you can see. I've seen chunkies about that fat, or maybe just under, but it is classed as a super chunky. It's beautiful, and it reminds me a lot of a yarn that I used to get from Wendy before they went under and were taken over by James C. Brett, and that was called Noir. And it was Noir because it was marbled, and in the black you also got a colour, so you had a red and a gold glitz, or you had a navy blue with a gold glitz. I've got lots of that yarn. You had purple with a gold glitz. Get my drift. But this is just one colour, but it has got that gold thread, that gold glitz. Excuse me. Okay, so this is called Mars, as in the planet or the chocolate bar. I reckon it's a planet. And Mars, yeah, strange name. So we've got 100 grams will give you 120 yards, 110 metres. That is really good for a super chunky. Normally it's about 80. So that is actually pretty good. That's what makes me think it's not as thick as some super chunkies out there. The end's a bit deceiving that you can see poking through because it's unwound a little bit so it looks fatter. And this, let me see, where were we? 99% premium acrylic and 1% polyester. That's the gold thread. It's 30-degree wash and you can dry clean it. And I have no idea what that symbol is at the end. I've never seen it before. What the heck is that? It's a square with a line through it. I don't know. I've never seen that, and I don't even know. I've never seen that one. I'm not very good with symbols, okay, but you know, I've seen them, but not that one. Maybe you guys can tell me what that is. So I've told you everything I think. Yes, I have. And I got 1, 2, 3 of those because I thought it does look really bright when you bring it up close, because it's got a sheen, and it also the glitz as well in the light. But when you bring it back, it's about this colour. It's actually a really lovely kind of red. I like it a lot. So I got 3 because it being a super chunky. That does mean that you don't get as much in yardage, and if you want to make anything substantial, maybe a hat and scarf or something like that, then you need a few more. And I'm not even sure 3 will cut it, but it might. You never know. Let's see how much. See how much. Let's see how much. Okay, where are we? Celestial, that's called. Celestial. Well, it was $3.99. So maybe the price in gum wasn't stuck after all. But $3.99, still pretty decent cost, I think. Really, really is. So if you're ever in the Ashford area, Little Bybrook Barn, which is now called Longacres, is well worth a little visit if you like cooking coal. If you want other brands, not so much. They haven't really got any. I don't know what the macrame was. I don't know if it was a King Cole brand. I didn't linger. But they do have other things. You know, they had buttons, they had dies. I had some gorgeous glittery ones. They had all sorts of painting stuff, and you know, those forms that you can buy and then you can put things on and make balls. You know what I mean? You can insert fabric and you can have like a flower ball and that sort of thing. They had all of those. They had lots and lots of crafting stuff. But I just lingered around the aisle. They only had one aisle, but it was quite nice yarn. Some that I've never seen or had before. Some that I have had before, but in colours I've never seen. And I always am a sucker for that glitz, as you could probably see. Every time I go to a place that sells it, I end up with a colour I've not had before. But I thought if I bought those 3, then the chances are I could make something quite nice with those 3. Anyway, that was what I got with my little yarn quest. And there are more yarn shops that I haven't visited, so I will continue to do it as and when I can. So thanks for watching. Let me know what that symbol was if you know, and which one you liked if you liked them all, and maybe which ones you'd like me to stock in future if I did. So thanks for watching. I'll see you soon. Bye for now.